What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with a figure review, and today we are going to be reviewing the X Plus 30cm diamond reissue Varan from 1958, Varan the Unbelievable. I have dubbed this guy in the Godzilla Collectors group and the X Plus Kaiju Collectors group. I have named him Mr. Unbelievable because he is unbelievable. Okay. Whatever, sorry. Anyway, this is the box, and very nice box art, your normal 30cm box, box art for your X Plus, except you have the PX, previews exclusive thing down there. Other than that, it's your same old 30cm box for the X Plus figures. And now, let's get on to the unbelievable figure, Varan. Diamond literally hit it out of the park. Now, this is the only figure that I'm getting from this wave. The other figures were the Godzilla 1964 and Minya, but I only had my eye on Varan, and I am not disappointed. Diamond just hit it out of the park with this wave. This just spot on with detail, no paint slops. It's just beautiful. Let's just go straight on into it with detail and paint job. Now, of course, the Varan movie was done in black and white, and there is a black and white version of this figure, but if you want it, you're going to have to pay top dollar because that's the Wonderfest version, and it's pretty pricey if you find it anywhere, like $300, $400, maybe even higher. But the diamond reissue does not disappoint. The paint job is very nicely done with browns and reddish browns and whatnot. Clear parts for the spines, white for the teeth, white in the eyes, black pupils, tannish colors up here for his horn, or face horns, or whatever you want to call them. Same tannish colors for his claws on his hands and his feet. Just very nicely paint job done all the way around. Again, the movie was done in black and white, so I mean, people have said, the paint job is either what the suit's color actually was, or as my own opinion on it is they just used the color for Varan in his little snippet he had in the end of Destroy All Monsters. He pretty much was this color scheme, pretty much. But, very nice paint job all the way around. The detail is just beautiful on this guy. And one thing I will note that people, it hasn't really been a problem, but I know people have noticed, is his back is very squishy. Same with his tail. You see how squishy this is? Very soft, squishy vinyl. And it goes all the way up to his head. But it's just the back segments. His front segment is just hard vinyl. It's not, you can squish it, but it's harder vinyl. I mean, it's your normal X Plus vinyl. But the vinyl back here is just very squishy. The spines are very bendy and stuff like that. But I want to say, this is one thing I'm going to point out, is that's actually movie accurate. It gives you more of a movie accurate feel to the figure. Because if you guys have seen Varan the Unbelievable, when he's trampling through the village or the city or anything, his back does look, rubbery and wavy, and it looks like the suit's about to come apart, but it's not. I mean, I don't know if that's the way the suit was supposed to be, but, I mean, that kind of just gives the figure more of a movie likeness to it, if you know what I mean. I mean, it just does in a way, just because in the film, his back segment here was kind of moving around and looked squishy, and very rubbery-like. But, very nice spines. His spines are done in a very clear vinyl. You can see straight through them. They kind of have a little bit of paint scheme right at the base, but then it just turns into all clear. And Butch, mine doesn't have any bubbles in it. I know yours had a bubble somewhat here in the center, but mine doesn't have any air bubbles in it, so that's pretty nice. The membrane for when Varan glides and stuff like that is very nicely done and folded up here on each side of him. Very nicely done. I love the stance. The pose is just great. The pose is pretty much when he rises up out of the lake and, is going through the forests and stuff like that. Very nice pose. Very beautiful detail. Each tooth is individually sculpted. Tongue is very nicely sculpted in there. The eyes. This figure is just beautifully done with the detail and the paint job. There are no complaints about it whatsoever. One other thing I will note is, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but on his neck right here, you have the same, if you refer back to my 25 centimeter standing Baragon review, you got the holes right here on Varan's neck. And those holes are the air holes and the sight holes for the actor that was in the suit, more or less. And so again, very nice paying attention to detail there, that you can see those. I saw those right away. And so very nice paying attention to detail there. And one thing that I will note about this guy, if you do get him, the tail will be a pain. If you saw my box day video, which most of you probably did, you put, Rich, I did Rich's technique of putting his tail in the freezer just because his tail is already squishy as all get out. So you put the tail in the freezer, that hardens the vinyl up, then you blow dry his butt area. You blow dry it the same as you would any other X Plus figure. You blow dry that, get that really nice and squishy. That way when you get to put the tail on, the tail just pops right in. No problem whatsoever. Own the hole, you guys. Own the hole. So, and I got a very nice, good seal. Some people had their Varan, their tail kind of still like wiggles around and whatnot. But mine got a very good seal all the way around. That technique worked very well. The only thing I will note is that if you do use that technique, one thing that I did notice that I know Rich didn't point out, I don't think it's too much of a caution, but I would be cautious that when you harden the vinyl, these spines get really hard, and they almost have that feel to them that if you try to bend them, or if you hit them against something accidentally when you take it out of the freezer, that they might snap. Be mindful of that, because these spines are very squishy and rubbery, as you can see, but when you put it in that freezer, these things get stiff, and it would really suck if you accidentally hit it against something and they snap off. I'm not saying that it could happen, but I'm just saying that's, it made them feel brittle, once I took it out of the freezer. I was like, wow, I got to be careful when I, try to go put this tail in that I don't slip and, 2 or 3 of them bust on me. And I would have to re-glue them on. That would suck. So be mindful of that. If you do get this guy, use that technique. It works very well, but just be mindful that these spines right here will harden up, and you just wouldn't want to accidentally snap them off if that can happen. So just be mindful of that, you guys. Anyway, you guys, X Plus, I really don't do sizing, comparison or anything like that. I mean, there's no articulation on this guy, so I don't do that either with the X Plus figures. No articulation, really no sizing needed, just because you're not going to be playing with them or anything like that. They're just vinyl statues of the kaiju that you put on your shelves, and you stare at them. I mean, they're just awesome to look at. That's all they're for. So, really, I mean, I could size them up with some other X Plus figures, but 25 centimeters, 30 centimeters, I just don't see the point of sizing up the X Plus figures just because they're just vinyl statues. There's really no need for scale accuracy or something like that. Anyway, you guys, we are Godzilla fan freaks. Really hope you enjoyed this review. This is an awesome figure. I'm so glad I picked him up. And, yeah, like always, you guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video review. Thank you for watching.